Hello everybody and welcome to Crushing Comics. I hold in my hands here a box of rarefied American air, and you know what that means. It's haul time! We have a haul of new comic books from my friends at In Stock Trade. Today it is a quantity of 8 books, weighing 7.6 pounds. And we have gotten it all the way around the world, from their home in the United States to my home here in Wellington, New Zealand. And this was, I think, my first order of the year. This is I get all these darn packing peanuts. I guess they probably keep the book safe, but I'm really used to IST in the States send you these books in these like awesome molded plastic or styrofoam, but they're not like loose. Oh gosh, this is just the worst. It's not loose peanuts like this. It's a big molded pillow of styrofoam that fits exactly around the books, and it feels like that must be a little safer to ship things in. So I don't know why. Maybe I can write in and get to the bottom of why international orders go out with the packing peanuts. You know why? I bet I know why. It's because they could be subject to customs inspection, and if you're going to get a customs inspection and it has it packed like in a very specific way, I can imagine that could get very easily messed up, so they kind of put them in a way that's a little bit looser. Oh wow, there's a lot of fun stuff, a lot of X-Men, and one of the hugest epic collections I've ever seen. Let's see what's in here. This is Cable, the Nemesis contract. So Marvel has been on a major march to collect pretty much everything Cable they can with this Deadpool movie upcoming, which he'll be co-starring in. And this collects some never-before collected Cable number 59 through 70. So that's a pretty big hunk. Annual 99 and a crossover into X-Men 45, 46, and 47. This is the period of Cable that was written by a lot of different people. Joe Casey, Terry Cavanaugh, Mike Higgins, and Carl Bowlers, although some of those will be the folks that are writing the tie-ins. And you know what's fun? It's actually got an introduction from Joe Casey. That's pretty cool, because they don't always really give a lot of context or put a lot of care into these reprint series that are like of big chunks of old stuff like that. It's like, here you go, some stuff from the 90s. So it's cool to see one of the writers. And okay, this, another long-awaited book that we're getting because of the New Mutants movie that got pushed back, but I am not complaining. This is called New Mutants Back to School. So there was a 2003 New Mutants series. It only lasted for about a year, and it had like the original New Mutants coming back to kind of be recruiters and teachers to build up what became the new version of Xavier's school. And it is one of the few unreprinted X-Men series from the new X-Men by Grant Morrison period forward to the present day. There's, whoa, almost lost one there. There's hardly any gaps. And the back half of that series is one. They only reprinted a trade for the first part, and the last 6 or 7 issues had never been printed before until this book. So I'm really, really excited. Those issues were what started me thinking I might do my own binding projects, because I was like, well, I guess the only way to get them is to get those singles. And then I have 25,000 comic books, so these things happen. Okay, so then we have 2 epic collections. Let's see. We have the epic collection Hulk Fall of the Pantheon. So basically the Hulk epics, and this is huge, basically the Hulk epics have been acting sort of as a back half of the Peter David Hulk run collection. They did issue a number of Peter David Hulk visionaries, but they were pretty much only the first half of his run, and it's a very, very well-regarded run of comic books. And so we've now, I think, got 3 sequential ones in this Peter David run, filling in a massive chunk of the back half of it, and this is yet another one. It takes us all the way through Hulk 435, and it's some issues, again, that have never been reprinted, so that is really cool. We have another epic collection here, Iron Man Doom. This is epic collection number 15 of Iron Man. It collects from 245 to 257. And let me just remind myself where this is. So this has some Michelini and Layton, but it also goes through a number of other writers as well. I think, does this fit after the Michelini? I'm not going to commit to what it fits before or after or during, because I don't know off the top of my head, but a huge chunk of Iron Man. So let's see, that's 4. That means there's another package in here of 4 more books. Oh, so you've heard me talk about this many, many times on the show, and there's a gap behind me, which we will put it into right now. It is Hellboy in Hell, the complete series of Hellboy's trip to the underworld. This came out and then went out of stock super quickly across the direct market sellers, and so I'd been waiting months, really, to get my hands on it, because I missed it the day that it came out, and when it finally came out, I was like, all right, we're doing an order, let's go! And I ordered it right away. It is definitely the thinnest of all of the Hellboy library editions, but I'm going to move Gene and Scott off of their shelf down here. And here, Gene and Scott. And their classic. I don't know if I have a Jean in the miniskirt. They released one, and I had it, and I don't think I really liked it, so I'm pretty sure I sold it, because then I had, like, the Cyclops and Jean cover of X-Men 137, which I guess that's what I was trying to do. But so that's my version of it. She's in the Phoenix uniform instead of the miniskirt. Anyway, so now I have complete Hellboy Library Edition shelf. And I can start a Hellboy read, perhaps doing something on this channel for it. So we have 3 books left. Let's see what they are. Oh, covered in packing peanuts is what they are. Okay. I know. Wah, wah, wah. I got lots of amazing books from America, and they're here safely, and I'm upset about packing peanuts. It just means I have to vacuum after every one of these episodes. Let's see. Oh, this is so cool. You know, this is something I don't know if I've gotten a chance to really talk about on this channel before. So this is... it's the Olympian's Hermes. And this is a series that's illustrated by, what is his name? George O'Connor? George O'Connor. And it is all about the Olympian gods, but it's in a graphic novel format. Each of them is about 60 pages, so it's like 3-ish comic issues. And it tends to highlight 3 major stories, 2 or 3 major stories of that particular god. And it's great because it's appropriate for kids, but it's not too, it doesn't go too far from the myths, but it sands them down a little bit for kid consumption. So it doesn't like have Zeus raping women, but it does portray Zeus as having like this wandering eye and constantly flirting with different women. So it's like appropriate for the under 9 set of readers who like comic books and want to know about the Greek gods. I like it because not only is the art consistently strong, it's all by O'Connor, but it also has like pronunciation guides for the words. It has a family tree of the gods, which is getting more and more complex. So I like it because even as an adult who knows these myths pretty well, it is pretty educational for me. So I'm a big fan of this. We have the entire series to date. They're from first, second books, and I hope they just keep going and do more and more and more. Although I have to think that this is a pretty life-consuming project, and there's probably a point when he would stop doing this. This is volume 10. Our last 2 books are 2 new Marvel Masterworks. One is Daredevil, Marvel Masterworks number 12. This collects from Daredevil 120 to 132. We're inching closer and closer to that Frank Miller period. And these are some Daredevil issues that we have only ever seen, I believe, in black and white, because I can't think of some of these being collected another way. And then our final one here is a big deal because it ends a Marvel Masterworks run. This is the Submariner number 8, and this collects Submariner number 61 through 72. That is the end of his Silver Age series. And from that Silver Age series, he next appears in Supervillain Team Up. Now, people have wanted that in a Marvel Masterworks for a long time, but it came out in a complete trade instead. But now that we've seen some of these big honking Masterworks, like the Champions, which I have down there, which is like really omnibus sized, it's like 7 or 18 issues, which is like a small omnibus, certainly bigger than most Masterworks go. Maybe we will finally get the Supervillain Team Up series in a Masterworks, because there is a spot opened up by this Submariner series. Personally, I don't have a strong opinion about that. Like, I do want all the Silver Age materials to eventually be in Masterworks, but we have so many new lines which have opened up recently, including Spider-Woman and She-Hulk, that I don't know that I would necessarily be looking for this line to give way to like another short line so much as I would love to speed up some of those other lines in coming up. So those are 8 books from In Stock Trades. Thanks so much for sticking around for this haul. What is your favorite book from this haul? What is the one that you wish you could have right now, or is of a favorite run that you already love? I would love to know below. Thanks for watching this box opening process and for watching Crushing Comics.